we're here. Good morning. Good morning, my people. Good morning. The atmosphere is really changing because God, the season is right.
Mhm.
It's working for us. Things are happening in the spiritual realm that you cannot begin to appreciate. But I feel it even with the leaves blowing and the trees going back and forth and everything else. I can see the mightiness of God, and it gives me courage to continue to do what we do now. And there is no going back. As mothers, we are here to ensure that our future generation live this life better than American. Like I know a joke, better than American life, because this one here is still a little bit twisted. There's some things going on in the background that you will not appreciate. We want heaven on earth for our people. That heaven, because they have given us the hell all our lives. We want that heaven to come down and meet our people, and that we shall get. So, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Today is December the 11th, 2021. We are almost few days before Christmas celebration. Wow. Wow. God is good. Who would have thought? So we thank God for all our lives, for keeping us till this date, right? Because we hear all kinds of horrific news, especially in that failed state called Nigeria. So we are definitely grateful to be here today. My name is Munachin Saga, and I'll allow my sister to introduce herself.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you, viewers. And my name is Dr. Epi Okube. We appreciate your coming here. Please like, share. For those on YouTube, subscribe. Um, Hit the bell so that when we drop any video, it will alert you. And then your highlight, the good will mark double blue if you have shared. So please keep sharing. You're part of this team. It's a teamwork. We tell our people that what we're doing here is just to meet the information need of our people. The main work is on the ground. And that work, like my sister said, it's going on perfectly well, and we are happy. So will give us food for thought as we move. If bullying is not acceptable at individual levels, then it shouldn't be acceptable at organizational, national, or global level. We can no longer ignore countries and entities that bully other nations into backwardness, underdevelopment, or even go around grabbing their lands. We don't care what you're called. Our ancestors are not the demons holding us down. Do you hear what we said again? Because some of you, you are afraid of your ancestors, you are afraid of your forefathers and foremothers. Our ancestors are not the demons holding us down. Rather, the colonial masters and their agents currently living in our land and in our midst are the ones bullying us and our children. We need to get it right. We must stop making excuses for our political and religious leaders. It is time to hold them accountable at all levels. Take more videos, take pictures of their evilness. You see, they are fewer in number. We can win this war. We are more. So take their pictures, expose them. If you see something, say and share something. Thank you very much.
Yep. If you see something, say and share and say something, because if not, the devil and his cohorts will continue to do hideous crimes that you can never imagine. The only thing that can show them out there is for people, because it used to be, if you think about it, a long time ago, it was one group of people doing the media reporting, so they only report what they wanted to report. They can even lie against 5 billion people that are being starved and killed. They can say, oh, nothing is happening, they're just dancing in the farmers and headers, what is they call it, farmers and headers clash. They are just clashing.
Mhm.
As if they're the only one that can report. Thank God for YouTube and Facebook and all the social media platforms. The
Yes.
truth is out there. We are seeing who they are for what they are. We are no longer going to believe, unless if you want to, because some of you are already hooked on Nkpurumiri. So
Mm.
nothing is making sense.
Hmm.
But for those of us that are only drinking water, that still have our senses, we know what they're doing and we see them. And we're going to respond appropriately.
Yep.
So the question is that, are you game? Are you with us? Do
Mhm.
you understand what you're saying? Do you understand where we're going? Do you understand what we need to get to our final destination? Just like our topic said, demolishing the old order to establish a new one. We have to change this thing around. We have to change it. We have what it takes to turn this around. There's a game changer here on the table. You just have to understand your role in it so that we can move. It's no longer okay for you to sit around and be victimized and cry and feel defeated when there are options on the table to turn this around. And when you take your destiny back into your hands, nobody will take it back from you because you know how hard you fought for it. So we know in our culture or in any culture that is a common sense that no one pours new wine into an old wineskin. Otherwise, what will happen? It will expand and burst, and you will lose your wine. So we don't want that to happen, right? So what do we need to do? We need to make sure that the new wine must be put into the new wineskin for both the skin and the wine to be preserved and safe. We know how hard it is to climb up there and get that wine down, right? At least in our culture. So it's not something that you want to mess with. We also know that no one should be putting a new piece of cloth to patch old cloths because we know what will happen again. It will get bigger and bigger and bigger. However, that is what our people love to do. We, the indigenous people trapped in that confirmed hell called Nigeria, we have been patching that failed state for decades and getting a dismal report or result. The hole that we are patching kept bigger right in front of us. The funny aspect is that our so-called ancestors that some of us, castigate, that didn't attend their Western education, they knew this truth. And yet, with all our degrees, with all our endeavors, with all our so-called exposures, we don't know what we're doing. We know that the foundation of Nigeria is built upon false and fraudulent constitution and everything else. But we continue to patch. In our language, we say patch work, when we could get new material, new design, and get the desirable outcome that we are all hoping and wishing for. There's no need to fake it anymore. It's not working. Your fakeness is not working. You pretending like it's not there is not working. We know that the old order is ruined. It's like a child that we came to nurse is dead. They will refuse to accept the reality on ground and we continue to carry on the rotten corpse around, pretending like it's not smelling. But the danger in that is that other people do see that you have a rotten child and it does stink. They are not in your lives. They are not going to continue to pretend like you're pretending that the baby is still alive. Especially when we have options to fix it, when we have options to make it better. You are still in your fetal state. You can try again to give birth instead of slowly killing yourself with the diseases that will eventually come from a dead body. Our so-called leaders are parading around, speaking English, and they're unable to deliver. We know them. If you see them on the channel news, my God, they speak better than the most educated American. They can give it all to you. At the end of the day, they are not able to even save themselves. Talk less of saving you. Some of them are clamoring for election, saying that they will kneel down to get Igbo presidency. When we know that our collective destinies have been hijacked by the few unintelligent bandits, because that's what they are, all of them. According to Gravita, infrastructure cannot be built at the cost of countries' sovereignty. For those of us collecting loans from China to develop Niger or Niger, for those of us collecting loans from China for Buhari to have the domestication fee of $1 trillion to take care of his cows. For anything to make sense, we must retrieve our sovereignty first. What did I say? For anything. If anybody wants to help us, we don't want to hear their English-speaking languages anymore. We don't want to hear their presentations anymore. If any of them want us to take them seriously, we must retrieve our sovereignty first. According to Acts 17:30, it says, in the time of ignorance, and we even added people, overlook things. But we are saying that we command all people everywhere to repent today, because it's time for the world to be judged. Do you want to be caught on a camera sticking your hand in the pot of soup? A grown man? We know that will not look good. The old order of African leaders enslaving Africans rather than serving them need to be demolished. But our people need to understand what we need to do. I know there is hunger in the land. We're too hungry, but you're going to die either way, right? So why don't you die, at least delivering the future for your children? The old order of practicing the type of religion that instill fears in people in order to manipulate and trap them needs to go down. Every one of them. Those giving money to celebrities when it's time for treatment and then telling the poor people to come and do a barakata in front of them. It's just a joke. The old order where we cultivate cash crop for the colonial masters while we abandon food crops that will feed our children that are starving needs to go down as soon as possible. The good news is that we have to give our colonizers credit. They have buku information out there for us to see that that you're, if not if best the same, that you're a much, much better person. But we need to understand, accept this truth, this reality, and extricate ourselves from this. Nobody will stop us from declaring constitutional force majeure, which you guys have witnessed. Nobody will stop us from taking our sovereignty back. Because after all, Idi Amin, with in all his wickedness, he was a head of a sovereign state, right? They watched him for 8 years, massacre 8 million, how many millions of people? They didn't come and rescue them because he has a sovereignty within that nation. So we can no longer sit aside and watch while somebody play with our future, because that's what they're doing. If any barakatam happens like this now, hateful, they will disappear. Oh, I know they're all coming down for Christmas season, right? Because their homes are all over the place, waiting for them to return to. It's heartbreaking. But like I said, people are telling us who they are. We just need to get ourselves together and move up. Move out of this dungeon that we find ourselves. Sister, please go ahead.
Thank you, my sister. This is the time for us to do what we need to do. So, like we said before, please share, like, subscribe. Let's bring other people into this discussion. You see, what we do here every Saturday is to meet the information need of our people. Men are at home, men and women are at home working, people on ground working. And if you want to join this work, please send us information to our phone, our direct messages, messenger, through anything. Contact us. Give us your name, your block, the block you're coming from. By block, we have underneath us, we have Southwest Block, the Yorubas. We have middle belt. We have Lower Niger, and by Lower Niger, we mean the old Midwestern region and the Eastern region. So tell us where your block is, and then also your gender, because we are also doing something special with women, because our women, like we said, part of what they did was hold our women down for the longest time. So our women have not been part of anything. They always make it very difficult for our women to be part of it, either by getting to the National Assembly, they're fighting, throwing chairs, throwing bottle, throwing wood. Which woman wants her face to be scarred? So they scare our women from all these things, and we are encouraging our women. So send us your name, your block, your gender, so that we'll put you, because we have different groups on the ground working. There's so much work to do, many things to do, and we want you to be part of it.